Well guys, it's April the 15th, welcome back in a glorious blue sky. I'm just going to give you a quick update what's going on up at home here now. So we've just got some tulips there, the blueberries, flower buds. I need to actually just top dress them with some ericaceous compost. And I've just noticed, I probably won't be able to make it out, but there's asparagus just poking through, so I'm going to have to cut these old bits back and then just put an inch or two of compost over the row there. I've just been busy planting out actually, so in this bed there's 4 little rows of arugula or rocket, 2 rows of lolo rosso lettuce, and then the rest is spinach. And then adjacent to that got 3 rows more or less of peas, variety Douce Provence, single row of chard, and I've just planted out here so multi-sown spring onions and a bit more spinach just to make the rope. The rest of this bit here will be for the main crop onions in that bit, and I've just squeezed a little row of peas, again Douce Provence, just in this bit here. So moving down a bit, I've just taken the fleece off this bed. So these are the shallots, and if you can see I've got them interplanted with radishes, so I've just planted some more out now, multi-sown. They're just here, look if you can see, going along between the rows, and they're doing pretty well. If I can just find, I don't know if you can see that, the sun's in a bit of a funny angle, but it shouldn't be, maybe 2-3 weeks I could start picking some of those. Then again adjacent to that you can see this kale is running to seed, but I'm going to cut these off and eat them as sprouting broccoli. I forget who it was told me about that now, but it's absolutely true. So if your kale's looking like that, don't waste these, cut them and eat them as sprouting broccoli, absolutely delicious. And this one's going to go the same way, but we've still got some harvestable leaves, but you can see the flower head there. And this chard's been growing like crazy, so once again we're just going to keep harvesting that until the new stuff's ready, or the spinach is ready. Then it'll come out, and I've got some more topsoil just to fill this up. We'll use those few spring onions in there, and then so in this one we'll be going probably more kale than cabbage, to be honest, summer cabbage. And I've just planted this bed out now. It's predominantly all beetroot. It's pretty small, but there's a lot of beetroot in there, which is the way I want it. And then again I've just finished off with about 3 rows or 2.5 rows of multi-sown spring onions. Look in the greenhouse, you can see where we've been harvesting the overwintering lettuce. They've just done so good, they really have. So I'm going to do those every year because they're just brilliant. More lolo rosso lettuce. Carrot buckets, spectacular, epic fail I would say. I think I cooked them by leaving this polycarb sheet on. There's 1 or 2 in this one here, but I'm just going to re-sow them. And these are my tomatoes, so they're looking quite good now. Again, say Crimson Crush, a cherry one, I forget the name of it, Rapunzel. And we've got some kale and Savoy cabbage. They may be going down to the orchard. I've had to re-sow another pot of leeks. I've only got 1 pot sort of germinated, the other one didn't really do anything. And you've seen the spring onions, they're just fabulous. And then I've been sowing some more stuff. These are my main crop onions, Sturon. And to be honest with you, they only just started coming through when we got a bit of heat. They've just been sat there, it's been too cold. As soon as we got some heat, boom, they started to come through. So I'm really pleased about that. I was getting a bit anxious. I was going to have to, buy some or something. Basil, and I've also sown another 4 pots today. Kale, that's curly green leaved kale in that one. More spring onions in here. You can see how fast this compost drying out. This is Chervil. Not brilliant germination. There's a few come through. These are greyhound cabbage. Again, I'm thinking I might have to move these outside. It's getting too hot, I think, in here. And then we've got some parsley, which again I've sowed some more today, this morning, and some dill actually. So in the frames, some more overwintering lettuce, which I've just been picking from these just now. And in this one, so just move that label. Again, same again, and some spring onions, white Lisbon. And this is the pot of leeks that, well, they were reasonable, but as I say, I'm keeping them here because I think it's just getting too hot from in the greenhouse. And with the compost bin, I forget time that is today, I need to clear this side out, and then I'm going to turn that into this bay and then start again. I've got a bag of grass here my mate's given me for some greens. Yeah, so we'll start fresh. I wanted to show you these module trays. I got these from a chap down in Lancaster, which is about 40 miles away. I don't know whether he was a commercial grower, but they're very much like the CD Charles Dowding 60s or 30s, 15s. A little bit smaller, but just a standard pencil is ideal just for popping them out. So I've had beetroot and spinach in here, and that's what I've been planting out today, and they're a perfect little plug plant. So I've folded up the fleece ready to be put away unless there's another frost coming or something. But what we're going to do now is we're going to put debris netting over the spinach and over the beetroot, because the sparrows will probably be going for those. So, and it'll just give it a little bit of protection if we get a cold night. So it's April the 17th, bit overcast, well, very overcast to be honest, but it's mild and there's no wind whatsoever, so a good time to sow some carrot seed. This is variety Sweet Candle. So in the barrow here, just move the camera over, I've got some sieved compost. I'll just put it through one of these, if I spin you around, through one of those rotary sieves, put it through one of those, and it was pretty dry. You don't want, they're no good with damp compost, but you can see hopefully how fine that is. So here's the carrot tank. It's an old cold water header tank. I'm not sure of the capacity, it's a big one though. I've got it on bricks. All this was sieved when I first did it, so everything in there, it's settled a bit now, but there's still plenty of depth in it for the roots to go down. And just did this bit of template. This was an idea I saw Nigel, aka Muddy Bootz, doing it, and I had a bit of old galvanised stuff on the allotment, so I brought it up yesterday and cut it roughly. It's a bit tight, but roughly. And all I need to do is just poke my finger and make a shallow depression, and then that'll leave me all the planting holes. So I'll do that now. Okay guys, so you can see it's a nice grid pattern there. It's probably about 1.5 inches apart, I would say. So all we've got to do now is drop 2 or 3 seeds into each one, and then we can cover up with the sieved compost and then just water them in. So I'll go and sow the seeds now. Alright guys, just see if I can zoom in a bit, and if you can see that, but there's roughly about 2 seeds to a planting station. Some has 3, some has 4. I didn't have enough left actually to do the whole thing with Sweet Candle, so I made it up with this Autumn King 2. So all we need to do now is get the sieve compost, like I say, and just put a bit over each planting station and tamp it down slightly so the seed's making contact. And this compost, by the way, is quite damp. I took the cover off. I have a polycarbonate cover here. I took that off yesterday, and it was sort of like a fine drizzle all day, so it is pretty damp. Otherwise, I would have wet it before I made these holes. That may be, I don't know what you think. It's a bit extreme, but I found that one of these, teaspoon gadget kitchen job is just the right amount of compost to top up with. Like I say, I'll go in after and tamp it down with a flat piece of wood. But yeah, that's pretty handy. Okay, so that's all the planting stations topped up with compost. It's got a little bit of flat pallet wood, this is, so just kind of lightly tamp it down, really. That's all we need to do. As I say, just so that it's more likely that the seeds are going to make contact with that moist compost. And then I'll go around with a very fine rose, one of those you put on the end of a kind of pop bottle thing, and give them a little bit more water on top. So I changed my mind, I'm just using a sprayer here. I'm just going to damp I just don't want to dislodge the seeds, that's all. So I'm just going to dampen the surface with the sprayer. And like I say, I'll put the polycarb top lid, I'll put that back on, but I must keep my eye on the humidity. If it dries out, I need to keep doing this until at least they're through, because I think that's where I've been going wrong a lot of times. I've allowed the compost to dry out. It's quite difficult to control that in a greenhouse, really, unless you're on it every day. When you're busy, sometimes you just overlook. Alright, that shouldn't be so bad. That's the lid there, but you can see it's pretty dirty, so I'm going to take that out into the front street and give it a scrub up, give it a bit of a clean up, let more light in, and then we'll put it on top, and that's the job done, really. There we go, guys, all done and dusted. A couple of bricks on top just to, in case the wind gets up, blows that sheet away, that'll hold it down nicely. Keep my eye on it, like I say, on the moisture. And I will be sowing those buckets I've got in the greenhouse. I'm going to do some carrots around about July, probably. I'll try getting those. Okay, catch you later.